what's going on, guys? So today we're talking about another episode of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Penny Stock Market Watch. I had to remember the name because there's just been so much Master Duel content literally everywhere. But today we're talking about the best cards under $5. And like I said, I'm always open. I don't want the comment section to seem like it's a caged animal in a cage. I've had better analogies, but it's really an open forum discussion. So just to let anybody else know, almost like it's like a Reddit post. You know what I mean? To let anybody else know these are great cards to pick up under $5. So please feel free to message anybody about all of those in the comments down below. But I do want to mention last week we talked about this card. Floandries, the Magnificent Map, and the Magnificent Map is now the #1 best-selling card under $5, and it will not be under $5 very long. Like I said, we talked about it last week, so I don't want to talk too much about it this week. But this year mints 419, 419. This one climbing above $4, climbing above $4, 450, 450, 460. 460, 470, 470, 490. So right there. Once we get to the third page, I wonder how many people hold the line. Not nobody. Once we get to this third page, once these next, and see how many multiples there are. This person's got 3 at 490, and there's a bunch of people with 1. So it's not a lot, and there's 10 listings a page. So once we get past these next like 25 to 30 listings, it's not going to be on this list anymore. So if you've been waiting on building Floandries, you've been curious about building Floandries, now is probably the time, because you do need 3 of this field spell. And honestly, I don't really see this deck getting hit on the ban list, and it could be a very, very, very good target for a buyout. But I don't want to go that crazy just quite yet, because the set did just come out, right? So just something to continue to look at. I love being right. I just, like, how long is everybody gonna say this used to be? Like, I've been saying this every single week. Dual Devastator at $55 is kind of a lot. I'm not gonna lie, right? Unopened. Well, okay, $54, right? 53.9, and shipping's included. No boxes, just sealed cards for 4 cents more. I think you might as well just get it from this guy. I don't know why they don't have this. This is verified sellers is interesting. It's technically verified too, so it's all good. But 54 feels like a lot. But the best two of the best 10 selling cards under $5 are from this set: Effect Veiler, Solemn Strike. Right, and we've talked about Veiler a lot here on the Market Watch. But if we look at a card like Solemn Strike, and we just look at what are the cheapest versions of Solemn Strike? The Grand Creators has a pre-sale rare for under $1. And that's been going way down. That might not be bad. But that's why I wanted to look. That's the exact reason why I wanted to look at all copies of Solemn Strike, because I don't usually get the opportunity to look at Solemn Strike in my Market Watches because they're all over $5, right? So we'll keep that one wide open, right? This one, there's an Italian copy if you'd like for $3.50. Once these 2 are gone, and I understand there's 24 here, but it's Italian. I mean, let's look at who speaks Italian. Colpo Silentier, right? So there's none. There's like essentially there are no versions of Code of the Duelist under $5 of Solemn Strike, right? So I continue on. Mechanized Madness, which I have the structure deck somewhere, and I'm super glad that I bought it, because I knew this structure deck was going to be something fire. And if we look at this structure deck, Cosmic Cyclone's in here, Solemn Strike's in here, but a lot of this, like Machina, like Pot Avarice back to the front, Trap Trick, a lot of randomly good cards, but it's really just this archetype, the Machina archetype, super good, and a lot of randomly really good cards as well. But Solemn Strike, I'd assume, though, even though I have that box lying around somewhere, this version's going to stay low. But if we look at just the first near mint version, $44. If we're not including shipping, $4.50. I mean, it's 87 versions, right, of that. But after we get past the 87, we got another 88 and 89. This is $4.98, and then we're already at $5, right? So there's literally, I think there's like 90 is the number because it's 87 plus 3 copies under $5. And then once, okay, let's say I like doing this, right? We all like doing this. Let's see how much it would cost. It would be okay, obviously you're not going to just drop $347, honest, but it's not like, listen, if you drop $347 on this Solemn Strike and you spend $4 per card, and it's going to be a $5 card, and then you flip it, 87 at $5, that's going to be, I mean, obviously, an $87 profit, right? So it's just free money because this card is just, it's always been relevant. If we go back to all versions real quick, there are 8 versions of this card, right? And the Dual Devastator version is the one that got us here. And this has only got 1 page, right? And we look at only, I don't know what light plays mean. I don't know what that means. Like, light play, everybody's got different interpretations of what light play means. I accidentally bent the card, but it's still fine. That's lightly played. I played it without sleeves. That's lightly played. Like, it could be either one, right? It could be some people's near mints are light played. Some people mod plays are light plays. It's a spectrum, right? So that's why I like to go for near mints. And we look at the near mints of the Dual Devastator version, which is the one that got us here. It's not going to be a $5 card for very long. There are 230 copies at $5.13. That's not a penny stock anymore, right? It's $5 and below. This is $4.99. Also $4.99, $4.98, right? And there's 8 copies at $4.98. That's essentially $5, right? If you're trying to spend less than $5 on Solemn Strike, you're going to want to get these 2 versions if you're going for the Dual Devastator version. Right, and then we look at Battles of Legend. Or I don't know if there are no near mints under $5, right? So this Grand Creators one, I have 2 tabs open on Solemn Strike. I don't usually love the pre-sale game, but I'm having a very difficult time. Like, this right here could definitely be, right? Because we just saw how much it would cost to buy out that other one. Now there's 473 copies at 94 cents, right? And what was it? It was like 300 and some odd. We got to edit the cart. We get rid of this. Oh, actually, we can see them both. So this would be more, right? This would be more to get that. But even if you just got 200 of these, right? We're looking at about, I'll tell you for that, less than $200, right? $188. And so you're going to spend $188 on a card, on 200 versions of a card that has no versions under 5. Like, it's very, very possible, even though it's a rare. I always hate the rare version of cards. I don't like the way it looks. It's like common, but like it's like rare. It's like harder to read. I'm not a big fan of the rare value, which is probably why that's the cheapest version. But it's also pre-sale. You could literally spend less than $200 on 200 copies of a card that might be $2 to $3 in a year and $5 in 2 years. Like, I spend $188 and in 2 years I make $1,000. Like, that's why we talk about the penny stock market watch. Like, that's the exact thing that we're looking for, is something like that. I gotta bring this card up. I gotta talk about this card. We gotta talk about Token Collector. Ideally, this card will get a reprint at some point soon. This card's been sitting under $5 for quite some time. I've never been the biggest fan of this card. Let me see when it happens. Let me see if it's right yet. Since like this point, it hasn't really been worth it. Since like last July. Now, if you think it's needed, If you think you're not going to beat Sword Soul without it, we've seen Sword Soul is beatable, but we've also seen Sword Soul is the best deck of the format, right? And Token Collector hard counters it. It's not in any danger of a buyout. It's probably not going to go up in price anytime soon. And I don't, if you're not interested in playing the game competitively, I do not recommend Token Collector. I did just want to say there is a reason this card just showed up on this Market Watch. And the reason for that is because Sword Soul is a problem. Right now, there's also a looming ban list coming, and odds are Sword Soul won't be on it. I personally think, even though I have the ban list video on the channel, you guys can feel free to go ahead and check that out after this video. I don't think Sword Soul is going to get hit. If they hit Sword Soul, they're going to hit the Tenny report of it, just kind of like what they did with Tri Brigade and Zodiac. But they might hit Sword Soul, and this card will go right back down to being pennies. And then right when it's pennies, it'll get a reprinted version and Ghosts from the Past, and it'll get a, because it's a rare and a common, right? So it might get a rarity. I could see it getting a rarity bump in Ghosts from the Past, and all the versions are under $1, right? So it's not I don't personally think it's a great investment. I think the price is peaked, but it is the best selling card under $5. So we got to talk about it. The last card I want to talk about is going to be real quick, is Branded Fusion. And Branded Opening, excuse me. I just said Fusion because it's a Fusion-based archetype. This card is definitely a card to watch. I know like it's doing this thing where it's kind of plateaued a little bit here, but if we look, we got this damaged version. I can't even imagine what damage looks like. Have you ever bought a damaged card? Please let me know if you've bought a damaged card and you made it this far in the video. Please let me know in those comments down below. I'm very curious the story of the damaged card that you received in the mail. I was given a damaged card by a friend for literally free, which is fine. But, like, spending money on a damaged card's crazy, at least to me. But we look at this card, and we go to the second page, third page, and remember, 10 listings a page, right? So we're at $4, $5, right? It's the fifth page, is right when this card, which is going up in price because of a deck that hasn't come out yet. Once we get to the fifth page, that's when it's no longer a $5 card. So this isn't something that I could see is going to gain extreme amount of value for, you know, it's not going to be like $10 in 2 months, but it definitely could be above that $5 mark. And just to be honest with the whole thing, every time I do a penny stock market watch, most of the cards that I'm highlighting are cards that I believe will either go up in value greatly, that are under $5, or will go over $5. Right? Like usually, like I said, like the Solemn Strike that's 94 cents will probably not be a $5 card, right? Maybe at any point in its lifetime, it might be, but probably won't be. But it will go up in value. Branded Opening could definitely be above a $5 card very, very soon. So that's just something to keep out, keep on the lookout for. Watch out for that. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys click that like button to show your support for the channel. And of course, subscribe for even more Yu-Gi-Oh content. But most importantly of all, have a good day.